My colleague Ian Miles Chong posted a story the other day regarding the sentencing and imprisonment of a teacher in Ireland. And I'll tell you folks, I had to read the lead paragraph some 3 times over. I did so because I thought Ian might have uncharacteristically made a mistake in his reporting, or maybe what had appeared on my screen was a preposterous, albeit premature April Fool's Day joke. Now, allow me to cut to the chase. Ian's opening paragraph states the following, quote, "In a courtroom in Dublin, Enoch Burke, a teacher jailed for refusing to use gender-neutral pronouns, pleaded with the judge to be released for the Christmas period," end quote. Astonishing! For this isn't a story about some member of the LGBTQ XYZ 123++, etc. community freaking out over some alleged misgendering incident. And really, when did misgendering become akin to a capital crime? Nor is this some story about some he, she, or she male going to a human rights tribunal and lodging a petty grievance due to hurt feelings. I mean, when you are a biological male and you come across as Herman Munster in a miniskirt during your so-called transitioning, maybe one might think that the dude is a mister rather than a sister. And besides, human rights tribunals tend to be kangaroo courts, and it should be noted that these uber-woke wackadoodle tribunals issue fines, not prison sentences. Well, at least not yet. No, Mr. Burke was charged and convicted in a real court by a real judge and locked up in a real jail with hardened criminals who have committed, real crimes like assault, robbery, etc., as opposed to thought crimes. In any event, Ian further notes, quote, "Burke has been suspended from Wilson's Hospital School in County Westmeath, Ireland, after he refused to address a transitioning student as they rather than he on the basis of his devout Christian beliefs. Despite being ordered by the school to stay away, Burke continued to attend and was subsequently arrested and jailed in September. Burke argued that he was not a criminal and asked the court to free me for Christmas, citing his religious beliefs as justification for his refusal of the court order. His parents, Sean and Martina, were present at the hearing and expressed their fury over their son's imprisonment. Sean Burke said that his son had simply been brought up in a Christian family, while Martina Burke declared that her son was being denied his constitutional right to express his Christian beliefs. The judge refused Mr. Burke's plea, but noted that he could be released at any point if he purged his contempt before the court. However, Mr. Burke maintained that this would be reneging on his duty to God and thus refused again. He will remain in custody until further notice unless he agrees to abide by the order not to attend school, end quote. Wow. Remain in custody until further notice, eh? Is that a kinder, gentler term for, throwing away the key? Now, a representative of the school made an appearance. She was no ally. Quote, Rosemary Malone, who represented the school before the court, said that if Mr. Burke had been successful in getting his suspension overturned, he would return to the classroom, end quote. Well, isn't that so very sweet of Miss Malone? All Burke has to do is, renounce his beliefs and assimilate into the creepy cult of wokeness, and then and only then can Mr. Burke resume teaching again. It essentially comes down to this. Burke must agree to accept fiction as fact, or else. For example, he must consent to calling a singular person by the plural pronoun they. If not, Mr. Burke, he can rot in jail. It's a jolly good thing I don't have a teaching position at Wilson's Hospital School, because I'd be Burke's cellmate right now, and it would have nothing to do with religious beliefs, but rather adhering to truth and not bending the knee to a bully boy cancel culture mob that is increasingly out of control. Indeed, religious beliefs aside, it is science and common sense that back up Mr. Burke. If you are an individual, simply put, you are not a they. They refers to more than one person, even if that person is suffering from multiple personality disorder or some other kind of mental illness. You know that, I know that, Burke knows that, even the bullies persecuting Burke know that. And yet, for fear of, being called out as transphobic, these ideological thugs in both academia and now even the justice system cling to some rancid ideology in which science is an afterthought and the prime directive is not the pursuit of knowledge, but rather the prevention of hurt feelings for those who are most likely mentally ill. And in the baffling case of Mr. Burke, what we have here is the state coercing Burke to denounce the bona fide truth that a solitary individual is not a he or a she, but they are a they or a them. And if you don't reject truth in favor of fantasy, well, it's also eerily reminiscent of the torture scene from 1984, isn't it?
Do you remember writing in your diary, freedom is the freedom to say 2 + 2 = 4?
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says there are not 4, but 5, then how many?
5.
No. That's no use. You're lying. How many fingers, please?
4. What else can I say? 5, 4. Anything you like. Only please stop it. Stop the pain.
Indeed, anything you like. And so it is, a man is a woman, and a woman is a man, and a dog is a horse, and a pussycat is a blue jay. And again, a singular entity is a they. Biology and medical science and basic grammar be damned. This is the tyranny of the minority. This is all about the inmates running the asylum and embracing the views of those who are unhinged.
That's an excerpt from my show every night. It's called The Ezra Levant Show. That's me, Ezra Levant. You can see the whole thing behind our paywall. Well, there's a lot of goodies behind there. I do a show every weeknight. My friends Sheila Gunn Reid and David Menzies and Nat and Kat have their shows too. You get a ton of content for just $8 a month. There's so much in there you won't find anywhere else. Go to rebelnewsplus.com.